going to be making a wreath. I did this for Maybon, and today I will be using these fake pine needles and fake pine slash Virgos and making a holly wreath. So I will just be making that today. It's not necessarily a solstice tradition, but it's something that I personally have started doing, so I will be just making that for today before all of the celebrations. So happy Yule and happy solstice. I like both, but they both sound good. So I do have this holly wreath, and I also have mistletoe. So I might make both for the video. I might just make one. I'm going to start with this one because it's more festive. So, alright, I'm going to go ahead and change the angle so that it's easier to see my hands working. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and bring out my supplies. I have this, and I have this floral tape, so I'm going to go ahead and get an amount, and I'm going to just wrap it around my head. Make sure it has a little extra so I can close it. So I'm going to have to cut it right about here. And I have these wire cutters. We don't need wire cutters for this, but never mind, you do. Alright. So now I have my headband. I'm going to go ahead and measure my head again. So now I know where the back is. Okay. So this is going to be where the back is, and that's going to be how I connect it, put it on and off. So now I'm going to take these supplies, and I want to start with this. So this is a fairly large branch. I'm not going to have to do that much work to make this wreath. So I want it to go like that. And I'm going to go ahead and bend this out of the way. I'm going to take my floral tape and open it. Okay, I'll set that back in my contours. Alright, so I do have wire somewhere, because wrapping it with wire is sturdier. I don't know where I put that wire. I might go look for it, because this is a pretty hefty branch. The floral tape sticks to itself. So let me go ahead and tear off a piece. So now I have this piece to work with. Okay. And let's go ahead and get that on there. And I was out and about with my sister, and they have some mini holly wreaths at Claire's for sale, but I'd rather make my own. And also they were pretty scarce with berries. So if we're doing this, we can see how it takes just a few. I like to wrap extra. I'm not sure if that's good, but I think it helps keep it stable. So now that I've got that one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move up to the next one. So there's not much space here, but I'm going to make at least one loop in between these needles. And who knows, maybe I'll wear this when I go see Into the Woods. Although, since I'm probably going to go by myself the first time, it'll be a bit of a spectacle. But that's okay. You don't need an occasion to dress up anyway. since today is Solstice, it's extra festive, I think. Or today will be Solstice when I post this. Okay, so we're actually making pretty good progress here. And a lot of times crafting isn't necessarily a winter type thing. It's definitely associated with Imbolc. Bridget is one, she's the bringer of light, but also crafting is, I associate crafting with Imbolc because the first group ceremony I ever attended was the Imbolc ceremony in Arizona when I was in massage school. And I went and celebrated with several other women. It was a women's only meeting that day. It was the only meeting I ever went to because I moved the day after, actually. That was my last night there. It was a good night. But we made corn husk stoves, which I believe I've shown in my Maybon video. So see, there we go. It's nice and stable. And so now I'm going to just break off another piece of floral tape, and I'm going to make sure that this is aligned with the stem. There we go. And I think it looks pretty nice. I will add the holly berries after, and I may have to cut them so that they work. So here's this. Let's go ahead and start painting here. But anyway, what I was getting to, we're talking about Imbolc, was a lot of times it's nice to sing when you craft. So with a group or by yourself, you can do that. And I will probably, I'm still a bit shy about singing in front of anyone, much less posting it on YouTube, although I did do it for one of Bricky's videos. It was very great. But in the next video I'm making, I'm probably going to sing because I'm going to be making an art therapy video. And I might even sing this one if it starts taking a while, or if I just start feeling really comfortable. But, okay, so there we've got a pretty stable little fixture there. So I'm moving to the next one. I don't know if you can see, I'm sure you can see at least part of it. It is kind of time consuming, but in the end it's worth it. And I don't mind it anyway, I really like making things with my hands. Okay, so I'm going to actually move on to the next one. I just kind of follow the tape, because sometimes it'll keep wrapping around forever, but if you angle it, it'll be like, let's move on. So that's what I just did. And I just put one little bow head, little bridge, or little speckling of plant matter. And you can get these. I got these at Hobby Lobby, but you can get them at Michael's or AC Moore, any craft store really. But Hobby Lobby has coupons, and their flowers, or their floral section goes on sale every other week. So, I'm sure the other craft stores have stuff like that too, but I have someone who used to work there, so I know all this stuff about them. Okay, we're making, I think it looks really nice so far. I'm glad I'm not having problems with it. Okay, so I'm actually going to just wrap this one around here, and now I'm going to wrap it around here. Or maybe I want that to stick out a little, I haven't decided. No, I'm going to have that stick out a little. So I'm just going to finish up and wrap this around the actual vine with twine or whatever. Okay, so that's the first part. And it's, I guess this will be the top. It'll be like that. So these are our other options. I think I'm going to start in the back again and then go toward the front and do smaller sections. I do actually have a pine cone for one of these, but I think if I were to keep it, I would want it in the back. So maybe I will go ahead and do that. No, I don't think I want to keep the pine cone. I have two with pine cones, so I will keep these for another project, another day. They are very nice. I think they'd be a bit much for this particular craft I'm looking at. Okay, so I'm going to use this one. And I'd like to cut this off. So there we go. Alright, now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start here, and I'm going to try to angle it with the headband. Okay. So I need some tape. Okay. And it doesn't look like there's a big enough area in here. Well, no, I can make it work. Okay. Here we are. So, anyway, another good solstice activity. Actually, I guess I shouldn't have said anything about singing not being a crafting thing, because solstice, the traditional celebration, is to stay up all night and greet the sun, and at midnight, at least according to the little celebration books I've read, memoirs, one way to celebrate is to wait until midnight and then light a fire, or light a candle and then light a fire from that. And everyone has candles because it's the longest night of the year and we're waiting the return of the sun. And I tried to celebrate that way last year, but it didn't work out. I ended up falling asleep, and then I woke up and tried to find the sun, and I couldn't because it was cloudy. But I did the exercise that I'll be doing tomorrow that day, and that kind of saved it a little bit. Not that it needed saving, but I had wanted to do something more than what I ended up doing. So, okay. Let me go ahead and finish this little piece of tape. Okay, great. And see, I am going to have to go back once I get these on and have the hollyberries. So we'll see how easy that is. Okay. I wasn't able to film this last anyway. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to get this in here. But yes, anyway, traditionally, storytelling and singing all night. That was how you celebrated. You would stay up all night. I don't know if you can hear that. My family is around. Traditionally, to celebrate solstice, you go together with a group of friends and you stay up all night to greet the sun. And the traditional way was to sing songs and tell stories. And you would have a fire burning. You could start it at midnight if you wanted, and then have candles. I was reading in one of my books. It has a memoir of someone celebrating that way, and I thought it sounded really nice. Okay, so I'm actually out of tape, so I'm just going to wrap it around here, and then I'm going to get a new piece for the rest of this. Oops, here we go. Okay, here we go. So, in spirit of that, I suppose I could tell some stories while I do this. Let's see. Well, the first story that came to my mind wasn't a personal story at all. It was a story of a coyote. And how they're the tricksters. The first story I ever heard about a coyote, I'm not sure, I might have been living in Idaho when I learned it. I used to live in northern Idaho, near Coeur d'Alene, and it was beautiful. I still miss it. I'm sure it's beautiful this time of year with all the snow. We were on top of a mountain in the middle of nowhere. I guess this is a personal story now, but anyway, I was at a nice little school there. It was wonderful. There were only 12 students per class, and that's kind of a thing for me. I like small classes. So anyway, I think we read a story there about this tree in Africa, the one that looks like its roots are in the air and it looks upside down. Well, according to their story, the coyote was given the seed for it and he planted it upside down, which was a foolish mistake, but he was able to make the most of it. So, anyway, that's the first story that came to my mind. I guess that tells you a little something about me. Okay, and does that look like it'll fit? I think that looks like it'll fit. There we go. Then I can just trim these if I don't want that much in the front and add the holly berries. Let me see if I have a longer one. Is this one longer? I don't think so. Let me check, because I want to make sure it's not fair and over here. No, actually, I think that one looks better. Alright, so I do always start with the thickest part, although I guess it doesn't really matter which part you start with. It's where you end, right? It's all about the journey. Okay, so anyway, I guess I'll talk about Idaho, since I'm now nostalgic for it. I moved there when I was really young, and our family was supposed to follow after my grandparents were going to come live there. That's the reason we moved there. We preemptively went so that we would be there when they got there. And then Idaho had a really bad winter and they decided they didn't want to live there anymore. So we stayed there. And we had a farm on top of a mountain. And we didn't have any horses, but we had a bathtub in the front yard for horses as a watering trough. And I really wanted a horse. I'm sure if we'd stayed, maybe one day I would have gotten a horse. Because our neighbors down the street had a huge horse farm, and they had like 12 cats. We had 7 cats that came with, well, we had several cats that came with the house. And then we had our own indoor cat, and her name was Kiki. And she was white with a green eye and a brown eye. Or a blue eye and a brown eye. And she was just a sweet little kitten. I was obsessed with cats way back then. And that's sort of how animal totems work. They're there when you need them. and I don't think I need the magic of cats anymore. Cats are very nocturnal, and I made actually a conscious decision to become a morning person back when I was 14. I was walking around at this camp that our school took us to, and I saw someone I wanted to befriend, and I decided that I would become a morning person. And I became a morning person, and I'm really happy being a morning person. I probably would have become a morning person anyway, but I used to be a night person, and I would stay up late at night reading, and I still do that if it's a good book. Not gonna lie, but I try not to since I work at 8. And I like working in the mornings. It's a lot nicer than working at night, because I feel like I have the whole day ahead of me after I get up. And really, it's probably because I'm a morning person that I feel that way. If I were a night person, I could just stay up late and sleep in, and I would still have the whole day ahead of me. This is kind of sticky. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start in here. And this might be a bit much in the front, but we'll see. You can always trim it. And I'm going to add the holly berries, so I might go ahead and trim off this little sticky outfit right here. Because I do want the holly in this. I think it'll look nice. And then the one I'm going to have plain is going to be the mistletoe one. And then whenever I wear it, I'll be under the mistletoe. I like doing fun things like that. Although, it's really just not going to mean anything. But it'll be for my own entertainment. And I'm very self-entertaining. The first time I got a video camera, I made a movie, and I actually wrote a script for the Zelda movie, Ocarina of Time, and it was basically the video game, and even as a kid, I knew I had a limited budget, because for the monsters, I wrote in paper bags with mean faces on them, and I was just gonna stuff them with, like, socks or something and throw them at Link from off screen so it looked like monsters were attacking. But it's really silly, and I basically turned Navi into a cheerleader. And yeah, so that's I got a video camera a long time ago, and I really do. I like entertaining. I like a lot of things. I'm really very much a service oriented. Well, I mean, I am, but when I said that, I immediately thought of astrology, and I'm sure that's not where most people's minds go. But I was thinking, yeah, I don't really have anything in my 6th house, but I have a lot in my 4th house, which is the house of Cancer and homemaking, and I really like to make people feel comfortable, and I like to take care of people. Both the 6th and the 4th house are about that. So, anyway, now we have this. I am going to go ahead and trim this because that would be right in my face. There we go. I think it looks nice. Let me go ahead. I'm going to take it and dry it. Okay, it looks really nice. So now I'm going to add the holly. So this is the back here. So I probably don't want holly in the very front. Okay. And these leaves look kind of big. I don't know how to feel about the leaves. I might not use them. Okay. So I definitely want some holly berries here where I left it empty. And I don't need the this much of a stone. Okay, so now I need my foil tape. And that might be too much actually, but I'm gonna wrap it pretty well. Okay. So anyway, I keep getting sidetracked, but that's really how my mind is. I go from one thought to another. It's like I guess it's like I'm in Tron, and my brain is one of those little motorcycle things, and it's jumping tracks. I would say like a train, but Tron works better because there are more possibilities, more places for my mind to wander. And I've only seen Tron once, and that was in theaters, but I did play it on Kingdom Hearts, and I was really bad at it, and that's about where I stopped actually. But I still haven't beaten the second Kingdom Hearts. I had to give it back to the owner. But one day I'll beat it, because I really like Kingdom Hearts. The first one's better, I think. But, I think there was something about my fighting style I like better in one. Yeah, Solstice talk. Kingdom Hearts. Okay, so I have my first little holly berry bunch, and I think it looks really nice. Okay, these ones are really big, so if I include these, I'll probably put them in the back, and in fact, that's what I'm going to do. Here we go. And I said, in fact, that's what I'll do. The song, "These Boots Are Made for Walking," just popped right on in. And of course, it's the Shrek version, because I like cartoons are not really, but I really like cartoons, and Shrek is a really good movie, I like it. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap these. No, I don't want them there. I want them here. And that's, I mean, if you are making a crown ever a little, crown like this, you can change things. That's the good thing about foil tape. It's not really permanent. So, okay. There we go. I'm gonna wrap that. Now I have some holly berries, and they do look different, but since I'm putting the small ones up at the front, I think that's okay. Although, I actually might like the big ones better, and I might take out the smaller ones to put in the big ones. But for now, I'm just going to keep going, and if I decide to make that change, I'll do it when I get there. And I'm not going to add any of the leaves, because I've decided I don't really like them. No offense, leaves. I don't know, they look too thick. I'm going to have to make that sound quieter. Okay. So now I'm going to put these ones over here. There we go. That'll look nice. It does look kind of weird next to the small ones, so maybe I'll just go ahead and take them out and make the finished product. Okay. Okay. So anyway, we are making pretty good progress here, and I'm going to actually use a second piece of tape for that. to make it as stable as possible. Slow and steady wins the race, right? Okay, so I just have to get this through the pine needles. For the, I really think it's supposed to be fur. I just keep saying pine needles because it's easier. And you could do this with real plants, of course, by the way. So I'm going to just wiggle this. Oh, well that just came right on out. Whoops, that wasn't the hole. Is this what's wrapping? I want to unwrap something else. Oh, no, that looks like it. So, now I'm going to add the big berries. And I could potentially reuse this floral tape, I think. I'm not going to though. Okay. There we go. And I can use the small berries for a different one. If I wanted to, I could even put them in the mistletoe crown that I'm cutting. Okay, so now I have these, and they're a little close together. So what I can do is I can take, where did I put that? Here it is. I can take this that I cut off earlier and just stick it here and move the berries down. I feel like I'm on a cooking show for crafting. Okay. And one thing is, it's actually better to have a longer one because there's more stability. Because right now I'm having a little issue getting it started. See? Okay. I'm adjusting. My feet are falling asleep. Okay. There we go. I hope you can hear all these sounds that my pine crown is making. I really probably should have checked earlier because it would suck if you didn't. So maybe I'll go ahead and check. Okay, so that actually did not work out very well because it's still kind of bare in there. And that's what I was trying to avoid. So I'm going to take it off. Okay, so now that I have this in, I'm going to do my next holly, which I already had cut out. I think it'll look nice there. I like to space them out pretty. Okay, there is already a lot of tape here, but that's okay. Okay. So anyway, it it would be nice to be doing this outside, but it's a gray day. Also, it's, you know, kind of dark outside. Okay, so now we have 3 holly berries in. And let's go ahead and put one in there. There we go. And I'm definitely glad I got this branch, even though I don't like the small berries as much anymore. Okay, so I'm going to put it right there. Is that right in the middle of the face? No, it's not. No, I like it there. Let's keep it there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We're actually almost done because all we have to do is add the berries. Okay, so let's see, we still have 1, 2, only 3. So I'm going to just go ahead and use all of these, all of the large berries. Okay, there we go. So I do want some here because I don't mind them being so close together. Okay. So, go ahead and start up here. There we go. Oops. Had some of the needles stuck under the tape. Trying to not do that. Okay. There we go. Alright, so that should be nice and stable. There we go. I say there we go a lot sometimes. Okay. So I am going to just use the last 2. And maybe I'll use these fake looking leaves for something else. I mean, they're pretty. I like them. That's one of the reasons I got them. But anyway. Okay, so this will look nice here, and then I'll just put one in the end. Probably on this side, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and cut them both out so I know which one to put where. I'm going to put this one here and this one here. So I think it just works better since this bow is sticking out so much. Okay, so and it's okay to use an excess excessive amount of tape because you can just tear it when you're finished. At least that's how I roll. Okay, it's kind of caught. There we go. So, I still haven't seen the next Hobbit movie. I'm going to probably go by myself, unless I go with my sister. Because I really like all the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit movies. I'm pretty excited about it. Even though the end of the last movie was kind of silly. Just that I am fire, I am dead. I don't know. I mean, I understand, yeah. I'm still excited. Okay. There we go. So now I just have the one more, and since I'm going to connect it right here, I'm going to put it right here, and then I'll connect it after I've added my last holly berries. Okay. Here we go. Anyway, if you did want a crafting project, you could do this with your friends or with your family, or you could do something else. And we can tell stories and sing together if you'd like. Maybe play some Christmas carols or some Solstice carols, depending. I don't know very many Solstice songs, but back in high school, before I really started finding pagan music on YouTube, I would always watch the Xena Christmas episode and listen to Solstice nights on this day. Alright, so it's finished, and let me go ahead and I'll try it on. Well, anyway, this is how it turned out. I'm pretty happy with it, and I hope you really enjoy your solstice. I'll probably just make my solstice one on my own time, unless you guys all clamor for another video before I make it. But I will be making another video probably for spring equinox. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful longest night of the year. The sun will rise again, of course, and the days will get brighter and longer, and life goes on in a circle, in a cycle, and it's a beautiful thing, the wheel of the year. So, whatever it is you're celebrating, today is not just really a holiday, it's also an astronomical event, a natural phenomenon. It's not really a phenomenon. You could look at it that way. You could look at it as, yes, it is, it's the longest night of the year, it's, oh no, it's, what if the nights never get long again, never get short again? Or you could look at it as, all of life is magical, and so this is just another day, really, in the cycle. And maybe I don't make very much sense in my words, but in my head, I know it makes sense to me, and I can maybe explain it better. I hope this isn't too much rambling for the end of the video. Anyway, blessed solstice, happy Yule, happy Christmas, Harry.